Hello and welcome to Basement Fodder, the only show whose hosts are crazy enough to record the show right next to Rape Alley 2 years running. I'm Todd.
I'm Dave. We're back, baby.
We're back. Rape Alley adjacent.
Yeah.
Back in the fucking Hojo.
And it still doesn't look any less rapey-ish.
But at least we didn't have to park near it.
There was no, parking, directly next to Rape Alley.
Did you guys know that we are live from our motel room in the Howard Johnsons in Lexington, Kentucky? We're here for Lexington Comic and Toy Con. Yeah. Dave was a gassy motherfucker this morning. We're recording this at 8:15 a.m. on Sunday. So we were just too damn tired yesterday to fuck with it.
I think, okay, yeah. I have to clarify that.
I think there may have been a point where we could have.
We were just too tired.
We were just too sleepy.
Yeah, we all didn't get to sleep till fucking, never.
No, because it started because I picked you guys up on the way, Friday night after you guys got off work.
Yeah.
Of course, Victoria's here with us, too. Mm-hmm. She's off cleaning herself up or something.
Yes.
And I don't think we actually got here until, what?
I think it was around
4.
Yeah, 4.
Or 4:30, somewhere around there. Now, if you guys remember from the show last year when we got here, the southern gentleman behind the counter gave us the keys to our room, and we attempted to get in, and we could not. And he came running around the corner and informed us that he had given us the keys to a room that was already taken. So apparently we were scaring the shit out of some people that were sleeping in their bed. But this year...
Go figure, it was same southern gentleman.
Same southern gentleman who complimented Dave on his GM belt buckle, which was not that even a little bit.
Hey man, is that a car belt buckle? I was like, yeah. Where'd you get that? Friend got it for me. Oh, where at Hot Topics? Oh, cool, sweet. They got other ones? I was like, well, yeah, they got a bunch of different ones. Cool, man. They got the GM ones in different colors. And I was like, what?
What you must understand is the belt in question is one of those seat belt belts.
Yeah.
And it was a Doctor Who belt.
Yeah. It didn't say GM, it said DW.
Apparently DW was very close to GM when you are literate.
From that far away, I guess, you got confused.
It happened.
So we were kind of joking about this, about people being in our room or the keys not working or freaking people out and all kinds of stuff. And no, everything should be right.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Should be.
Yeah. Should be. So we get to our hotel room, which was on the right floor.
Finally on the fucking first floor, but there was no parking anywhere remotely near the door we were supposed to go.
Yeah. Sadly.
Because no one knows how to park.
Yeah. But we were able to get in. We thought everything was fine, and then we hit the door with the keys, and all we get is red lights.
I hate these fucking magnetic keys.
Yeah, and we tried both of them, and then we're like, okay, what the fuck? So I have to go up to the front desk, and basically he's like, what? And I'm like, the keys aren't working, dude. We try both of them, and it just is a red light. So he comes in and, brings some sort of machine out, which when he's supposed to, plug it into the thing to,
it's like a little diagnostic machine.
Yeah, diagnostic machine. Well, the area he's supposed to plug it in is, capped up.
Yeah, it was, plugged up or something.
It wasn't, plugged. It was, literally somebody put a cap over it so you couldn't plug it at all. Because the door right next to us had one. I looked because he did the same thing, and he was like, what the fuck, So he takes that back, goes, gets the master key, finally comes back, has to open the door for us and shit, and he basically was like, I'll have to get somebody, leave a note and have somebody, in the morning check it out. I was like, okay, well, we'll be leaving around this time and be gone for this amount of time. Mm-hmm. We wake up, do the thing, get ready to leave. Shit. Go figure. No note was left for the people on first. Door was not fixed. None of it.
So we leave for the con, and every year, this is our second year in a row, but last year there was a St. Patrick's Day walkathon.
Oh, yeah.
Now, keep in mind, it's been pouring rain since the second we left, basically.
God, yeah.
And so we get down close to the convention center area, and the turn that we're supposed to go on is blocked off because of the walkathon. So we go around a back way like we did last year, and we see all these people, and none of these people are dressed for rain. None of them. Some of them had ponchos on. But they had all these little kids out there, and they're all soaked to the bone.
Yeah, it's like, hey kids, it's going to rain. So instead of giving you water-resistant clothing, we're just going to make you put on more layers of clothing.
Dress in layers so they can get really wet and you get hypothermia.
Yeah, and it'll weigh you down. So, but luckily this time we found parking.
Much better parking.
Yeah, much better parking.
Yeah.
And we were able to like go in.
Get the handicap parking, which is always good.
Yeah, man.
Never has my handicap been more of a boon to us than it has been this weekend so far.
Oh my god! Yeah.
So we get inside and we'd already bought our tickets online, and like when you go inside, there's a big ass long line. Like you have to go and get your wristbands, and you have to stand in line to get in. And the VIP people that pay for the 3-day tickets, they get in early, like an hour earlier than everybody else. Well, we get close to the thing, and there's this like bald security guard guy. It was a cop, actually, I think.
Yeah, it was one of the security cops.
And so he's like, "You," and points to us, and we're like, "What?"
I was like, "Ah, shit! What do we do?
What do we do?
Like less than 2 seconds."
Well, actually, let's just preface this. Before that happened, we hit like a celebrity streak vein like of people.
Oh yeah, we hit like DiBiase.
Yeah, Ted DiBiase was checking in at the Hyatt, or he was standing at the desk at the Hyatt. Walter Koenig walked right past us. Skull was in the elevator.
Yeah.
When we were getting out of the elevator.
He was in another elevator.
Yeah, he was in another elevator.
And then when we got off our elevator, like the doors open and literally standing there is Bai Ling getting ready to get on our elevator. And we're like,
what's it? What?
What's it?
It was
so
awesome.
We go to like get in line, and that's when the like security guy called us out and shit like that. And we were like, what the hell? And he basically was like, well, you guys... I'm like, well, we need to get our tickets and stuff. And he's like, all right, well, here, like,
go get your wristbands.
You go get all the wristbands, and then when you come back, you guys can just go down to the front of the thing. Mm-hmm. And I was like, okay, well, I mean, for the handicap, I figured there was a section and stuff. Like we'll get there.
I knew this did not happen last year. We stood in the line forever.
Yeah, so I go up there and get the wristbands and shit, and I get back down there. And I figured it would just be like, when you guys get in at 10, you get to the front of that line.
Right.
Nope, that was not the situation.
No, like, we go down the ramp, and the lady that's standing at the door is like, okay, well, this is for VIPs, you're not supposed to go in. And the cop's like, no, they're going through. And she's like, no. And he was like, no, I said they're going through. And we're like, okay.
Yeah, like, this, and it wasn't that guy, it was a different guy.
Yeah,
because it was like... She was staff, and then another security staff guy came up and was like, no, like, let them through. And she was like, really? And he was like, yeah. And then he was like, okay.
And so we go in, and we're expecting there to be, like, some area to stand in or something like that. And no, we just went straight in.
Yeah, they just literally were like, all right, you're VIP because you're in a wheelchair. Go. And we were like,
what the fuck?
Walking around like, is that happening?
And I kept expecting somebody to be like, all right, get the fuck out of here.
He kept like trying to like
covering my wristband.
Like I didn't get.
We basically spent like the first.
Yeah, you kept saying it loud as like that's the funny thing. You were
saying in a normal tone of voice.
No, you were saying it loud. You were like trying to hide it, and you're like, "Oh my god, we got it early." And I'm like, "Shut up, then."
I was not.
You were saying it pretty loud, but it was fucking. It was hilarious.
We spent like the first 20 minutes like standing at the Roma collectible booth just talking to those guys.
Yeah, I was like, well, let's go stand over there and hang out.
Aaron and Kenny and Sarah like checking out what they had, and the high mobility guy was next door there. And we walked around for a while and checked a few things out until 10 o'clock when they actually opened the doors for everybody.
Yeah,
which was cool.
It was pretty sweet.
And there was just so much more this year than last year as far as like just more booths and more. Actually, it was like 2 floors of convention space.
Yeah, I mean they opened up 3 floors, but it was like they're on the first and the third. There was a bunch of like the vending and people doing signings, and it was nice. Mm-hmm. Oh, and there was crazy little animals again.
Sugar gliders, man. This is apparently a new convention thing. Yeah, it's the second convention we've been to.
Little animals.
Yeah, it's the second con we've been to that they had fucking sugar gliders.
Yeah.
So then we went to do autographs, and you were getting your Power Ranger autographs.
Yep, I was able to.
You did David Yost first.
Yep.
If you guys remember the original Blue Ranger, and he was very cool.
Oh, yeah, he was. When I got up there, he did the signature, but I asked if he would do me a really big honor, and if he would do like a tribute for the original Yellow Ranger, Trini. She passed. And it was like, he was like, do you want me to do her, like, her signature? And I was like, no, I don't want you to, like, get in trouble for that. Like, you know, I was like, if you can just do, like, a in loving memory, like, above her coin or something like that, you know, kind of like that type of thing. And he was like, oh, okay, yeah, so no problem. And he flipped over the morpher, you know, and did that. And then he's like, you know what, I'll sign it again in blue. So, because he did her tribute thing in a blue Sharpie. So he's like, so that way they knew that I was the one that did it. So that was really cool. He basically double signed my
he was really cool.
And he was just really awesome about it. Yeah, really friendly. Really, like, just soft-spoken guy. It was really cool. And then we were going to go stand in line. Well, like, earlier we had seen this, like, really big-ass line out, you know, out in the corridor.
Like breezeway.
And that was, we found out, the line for Austin St. John.
That was, of course, the original Red Ranger.
Yep, Jason. And I was like, oh, shit, well, I mean, maybe we can, you know, fucking go out this way and go back to the end of the line. So we push out there, and I look at the guy, and I was like, is that the end? Like,
well, no, he was totally like, oh, are you getting in line for Austin? And we were like, yeah. And he's like, no, just come over here.
Yeah, because I was about to be like, do we got to go back there? And he's like, no, it's cool. You know, and we're like, what? And we basically...
He cut us in front of about 40 people.
Yeah, because of the wheelchair thing. And I was like...
this is hilarious, because it's not even for me.
Yeah. So, well, I was like, whatever. That's awesome. You know, like, okay. Thank you. So, yeah, we basically just got skipped to the front of the line again.
It was awesome.
Yeah, and we got to... I got my morpher signed by him, which was awesome. And, man, he's... Like, I've met the Green Ranger, and, like, the Green Ranger was my idol. I mean, still is. But I'd have to say, like, as far as, like, when it comes to that, anymore these days, it's slowly becoming more like I liked the idea of the character, like Tommy Oliver, the Green Ranger, White Ranger, more so than the actual actor themselves in person.
Yeah.
Like, he was really cool when I got my autograph because, you know, like, he was late and did free pictures. But on average, just the things that are said and done, I mean, he can kind of be, you know, a little over the top or, you know, just different. But man, Austin was like, he came out from behind the, you know, the booth, was like,
shook our hands, asked for our names,
talking,
like,
you know, and like, he's doing a campaign on Indiegogo for a movie he's doing called Survival's End, which is kind of basically
it's kind of post-apocalyptic, yeah. It's like after a disease.
It's like during-ish after kind of thing where it's like, but it's not zombies, it's Ebola. And they're using like real-world survival stuff. And like he said, though, he's like, it's not overt. It's like, hey, look, we're doing this and stuff. It's like they used actual stuff in the movie to like make it look, you know, it's not, because you've seen movies where you're like, that science is wonky, you know. You're like, oh, look, we did some science here, and you're like, shenanigans.
Yeah.
Shenanigans. This is all supposed to be like stuff that you could actually look up and be like, that is an actual like survival technique. So that was really cool. And man, when I mentioned that, he was just like, yeah, that's awesome. And like, we started talking about all kinds of stuff, and it was crazy because it was like, I felt like the people that, like holding up the line. I was like, because he was just, let's hang, let's talk, it wasn't just us though. Like, I saw he was like that with everybody, and I've been told like by numerous people that like since he's come back, you know, into like doing this stuff, like he's just been an A+ guy.
Oh yeah,
you know,
absolutely.
from the get go. Like he's just been more like, you know, I try to spend as much time per, you know, fan as I can, you know, talking with him and stuff, which was really awesome. So
yeah, when we mentioned that we did the show, like he was very cool about that too, and like
he wasn't just like, oh, that's cool, you did a podcast.
No, he like gave us a business card for his representative and stuff, and like encouraged us to contact and, you know, you'd be interested in doing something. And I was like, blah, 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 blah.
Yes, please. And like, we switched cards and everything. That was awesome.
That was great. Yeah,
I was like, oh my god,
that was super awesome.
Yeah.
So he was very, very cool.
Yeah. So that was awesome. Those were the two big like autographs that I really wanted. And I was able to get the third autograph that I really wanted too. Was actually I had brought my copy of the Never-Ending Story, the book, from like when I was younger, like way younger, middle school type shit. Noah Hathaway was there, who played the original Atreyu in the first movie, and he was really cool too. And I was able to get him to sign the book, which is fucking awesome. It was cool because like when I pulled it out and stuff, he had that look where he's like, "Holy shit, you actually have like the book." Yeah. Like most people just want me to sign a picture of the DVD or something like that, but it was like, you have a book.
And it's always cool when you can like engage them. I always try to like ask an obscure question or something like that, so you kind of get like a little bit more of an interaction, because you know, you don't want to just ask the same thing. Like that's my best tip on like talking to celebrities, things like that at cons.
Is like
ask something obscure, or do some homework, or ask them something that you don't think that everybody's gonna ask.
Yeah,
and that's work every time.
Yeah, because then they're like, "Wait, what? Oh, awesome."
Yeah,
but I definitely have to say the one thing I really liked about this con. Especially yesterday, even though it was so busy.
Extremely organized.
Yeah, it's extremely organized, but it's like, it's more casual than I would say on a level than most, because it's like, you see these people just chilling, walking around. I mean,
yeah, totally. Like we were constantly getting passed by, or like, you know, waved at, stuff like that, winked at.
Marina Sirtis,
Gigi Edgley, Ivy Doomkid. He was like standing right by the elevator.
And they're so cool about it. Like it's you know, you got
Deep Roy.
Deep Roy. You got your hand shaked by
Brian Knobs from the Nasty Boys, who wasn't even supposed to be here, from what I understand. I guess he's a producer of some show that was here. Yeah. But like, he walked right up and like talked to me, shook my hand and stuff.
Yeah, everybody was really cool. Like they were just like, you know. And the thing is too, like the fans were really cool. Like nobody was freaking out.
Yeah.
Like these people could just stand there.
Yeah.
And be like, "What's up?" And people would know who they were, but they weren't flipping out on them or something.
Everything's
like
been so chill. Like it was just extremely balls to the wall packed in there yesterday. Yeah. Like, it was just nuts to butts.
Yes.
Which is like difficult to get around with like my big fat ass in a wheelchair. Like
yes, maneuvering capabilities were
plowing into people and shit. Yeah. But even that is not as bad as other cons.
Yeah, people were actually like really nice this one time, and were like constantly like moving. Like I would be like, usually the person that's making eye contact with me on the other side usually just no-sells the shit out of me. But like every one of them would see me coming up, and they're like, "Oh hey," and they would move. Vendors, people, like I was like, damn, like is there a neon sign, something that says, you know, like we're coming or some shit like
all
that?
The vendors
have
been super friendly.
Yeah, and not the like, hey, buy my shit kind of friendly.
No,
it was definitely, I would have to say, one of the nicest experiences as far as like going to a convention. I think that's one of the reasons I like this one so much.
Yeah,
is just because it's kind of that. It's a different level. Like you go to cons and people are just so busy doing their own shit. Vendors are like whatever. This one, it's like they're friendly. They want to talk to you like, about shit, not necessarily just like, hey, buy my stuff, get the hell out of my area.
Yeah, everybody was really cool, and you could get like a lot. Unlike the Wizard cons that we went to, like you could actually get close to the people signing autographs instead of being
half
like
of them were like coming out from behind their booths, like, you know, like
shaking
in there, shake hands, get
hello,
pictures, do all the stuff, all that picture. See, the one that really kind of funny too is like, you know, the people that, and I'm not saying at Wizard World it's the, you know, it's the famous people's fault. I feel it's like the promoters and all that stuff is like, they want to just hurry up, take that picture, and move on to the next person. It was like, here, I've seen plenty of times where they're like, oh, shit, I don't think that picture took. Let's do another one. And
it actually happened to me, Because, like, when we were up on the third floor, Roy Woolley from Face Off, like, if you guys watch Face Off, he was an awesome guy.
Yeah.
I stopped at his booth and I get a picture, and we weren't sure if it quite turned out the first time. And he was like, no, just take another one. We took another one, and then I sat there and talked to him for like 15 minutes or so. Stuff, and like he answered questions. He was absolutely wonderfully cool. Couldn't have been nicer.
Yeah.
Everybody that we stopped and talked to, I stopped and talked to a couple different creators with that are selling, you know, comics, things like that.
Yeah.
We stopped and talked to Sean Forney and his wife for a while, and I got one of Sean's sketchbooks and another one of the comics that he was working on, and met a really cool artist named Brent. I'm trying to remember his last name because I don't want to get it wrong because look at my
card.
I've got the comics, but they're in the bag there. Give me a second.
In the red bag?
Yeah.
The red bag of comic doom! Ow. I just hit myself in the groin with it. Ow. Okay. Schoonover.
Yeah, Schoonover or Schoonover, yeah.
Schoonover.
And I bought 2 books from him. One of them is called Horrorwood, which is a very cool, like, sort of 1950s Hollywood Gothic horror book, which looks amazing, and I can't wait to read it. And then the other one is a Vincent Price comic that he did for Blue Water Comics, which has a beautiful cover. And I love his artwork. It's kind of reminiscent of an animated style.
Yeah.
And it's beautiful. He was very cool. I stopped and talked to him for, I don't know, a good 10 or 15 minutes. He was very, very awesome. And
he does the Batman.
He's doing the Batman 66 comic right now for DC, and he said that he just finished one where they're allowed to do characters that weren't originally on the show, and he just finished one with Solomon Grundy, which I was like, oh my god, that's exciting. And I asked him like what he did for the look, and apparently he went with a very similar look to Lurch from the Addams Family, and I thought, well, with the context of the time period and casting at that time, that probably would have been a really good casting choice. For that character.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. I was like, yeah, because the this gauntiness in the face and everything like that would definitely be interesting.
Yeah, everybody was just so cool though.
Yeah,
like I was just surprised with the level of like you said, with the level of relaxed it is. I mean, it was like that last year though, because remember, like people were just getting up and ran. Like we ran into Lou Ferrigno about 400 times last year. It seemed like.
Yeah. Man, I'll tell you though, the Power Ranger people, it's fun to see them because they all it was Austin St. John,
David.
No, then it was Walters.
Oh, Walter, yeah.
Walter Jones, then David, then Karen Ashley, and there was they were always just popping over at each other's booth, joking around. And at one point, they were doing it's more for time, all that stuff. Austin St. John randomly screamed, Tyrannosaurus, and then it just went down the line Mastodon, Triceratops, Saber-tooth Tiger, awesome. And I was laughing my ass off because I was just like, oh shit, because they were doing something. The one in front of them said it. They would lean back and be like, ah, and then go back to doing their thing. And it was hilarious. And it seemed that way with a lot of people. They were all having fun. I noticed there was a lot of cohesion with different booths. I was upstairs on the third one, and there was 2 different artists and creators, and apparently one was selling certain types of covers that worked for another guy's things. And he was like, hey dude, if they're buying that stuff and they need covers, I'm selling these stuff, and if you want do that. And they was like, oh really? And basically they were like, cool, I'll do that. And they were sending each other over, and it was it's really cool because normally you see a lot of competitiveness, with that type of stuff, and it was just very different down here. I think I like a lot. It's nice. So, I mean, a little bit different. Hopefully today will be, a lot more relaxed.
Yeah, if it's anything like last year, it was a lot easier to get around and actually get to stop at some of the the Artist Alley booths and stuff, which we really didn't get to do a lot of yesterday on the main floor because it was just so crowded in there.
Yeah.
But hopefully we'll be able to try to pick up some comics for reviewing.
Yeah. Well, the one in the corner that we usually go to that's always got the big just boxes.
Of comics,
yeah. That will actually get to really look at a lot of the figures. It was hard to kind of get in there, and even with the thing with the being sent in an hour early. We really only were in there earlier 45 minutes, and it's kind of you're just kind of whoa, I wasn't really supposed to be in here, so
I'm not sure. I don't want to I was kind of thinking, man, we could go up for autographs and stuff, but I figured man, if they see that we're not, they might not be cool.
We're not supposed to be here, man.
Get out of here, fatty. But I don't know.
Buddy. Yeah, so.
We were supposed to, we had talked about going to panels and stuff, but kind of by the time they rolled around, we were just we didn't think that we could sit still.
Yeah.
For the amount of time, because we had literally gone on no sleep, because by the time we got here, it was almost 5, and we had to leave at 7:30, 8 o'clock.
Yeah, so
we really just did not get any sleep at all.
Yeah, and I mean, the only panels yesterday that were really, there was a Jim Cornette one, which I went
to last year, which was awesome.
And then there was the Mighty Morphin Power Ranger one. Now, I went to that one last year, but this year it was different because Austin was here. And last year when Jason David Frank was here, he did a panel all by himself. Yeah. Like, he didn't do one with the rest. But from what I understand, Austin did, they did theirs all connected and stuff. So it was kind of like, I missed on that, but, I was like, I don't want to be that guy that's like a dead asleep snoring in your
I was definitely afraid of that. I'm like, I don't want to go into a, especially like, because I'm such a huge Jim Cornette fan. I don't want to go in there and be like.
I was like, he would have hit you with his racket. Like,
whooped me with his racket and then cut a promo on me, and I would have geeked the fuck out of him.
Yeah. Awesome. Maybe we should have done it for you.
He'd be like, you listen to me, you dumb son of a bitch. Don't be fucking falling asleep inside my panel, motherfucker. Yeah. Yes, sir.
I'm sorry, sir. It's awesome.
You stupid son of a bitch.
Yeah, but
I do love the mouth of the South.
Yeah, and he's always an awesome guy. A lot of the wrestling guys were really cool. We did hear about some shenanigan type stuff, but
wait a minute, we can't get to that yet because we haven't talked about the hot tub shit yet.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying.
Okay, so when we got finished with the con, we were starving. And
deathly food.
We got lost a little bit there coming out, but it was just a couple streets. It wasn't a big deal. Then we were looking for a place to eat, and they had an A&W restaurant here. And we have them at home, but they're kind of more fast food looking. And this one was kind of a little bit more upscale looking, so we stopped in there, and man, it was fantastic. Like, I got like a orange creamsicle kind of float, and you got like a Dr. Pepper float.
Yeah.
And some cheese curds and freaking.
I did not get cheese.
Well, yeah, you didn't, but I did. And I got like this amazing cheeseburger that was like very fresh tasting, and like it's one of those ones where you can tell it's like they, it's real ground beef that they smashed on the grill, and it was very similar to Smash Burger's burgers. Yeah. And you got chicken strips, and
I got chicken strips and the fucking chili cheese coney, and man, that thing was awesome because it was like one of those like baseball size all beef franks where you're like, damn, this is
all beef.
But it was like you were looking over there and you're like, I kind of want one of those.
I kind of want to eat your chili dog. It looks delicious.
I was like, I'll cut you, fat boy. Fucking cut you.
It was good, and there was a like-minded comic fan in there who was asking us questions and stuff about the convention. He was very cool, though.
Yeah, and we were talking about different stories and all kinds of stuff, which was fun.
So we left there and came back to the motel, and we were like...
I was like, hot tub time,
yeah. Even as tired as we were like, no, fuck all this noise, because we got to relax. So our motel has a hot tub, but they don't have an indoor pool, and the hotel that they own next door has both. So last year we had done it. We just walked over.
Well, that's because theirs was broke. But they told us this time we could still do that because they have the indoor pool.
So we went over there, and there was no one in there when we first walked in. We were like, oh, fuck yeah.
Yeah.
And then we get in the hot tub, and like, well, first it took us like 5 minutes to figure out how to work the motherfucker.
Because we forgot. I was like, where's the button?
And even once we figured it out, it didn't work all that well.
Yeah, shit, it's not a button, it's a timer.
So, weird. We were in there 5 minutes until like this large family came in with like they probably had like 6 kids.
Yeah.
And they were extremely loud. And then it was like a fucking clown car opened up.
The dam had broke, and now all the water was rushing through. And by water, I mean 30 frigging kids.
Every time the elevator would open, the kids would pour out like it was fucking Barnum and Bailey and shit. Like just belligerent children.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what the fuck? And they're just filling up the pool, and they're all screaming, of course, at the top of their fucking lungs.
Only group of kids I've ever seen in like the past like 15 years that decide they're in a pool that they need to play Marco Polo.
Like Marco Polo? What are we, in 1987? Jesus.
Yeah.
Who the fuck plays Marco Polo?
Screaming as loud as they can pan, and I'm like, it's indoors.
There were legit probably 30 kids there.
Yeah. And like...
we're in the hot tub, and like... they start invading the hot tub, and they cock block the damn steps to get out.
Yeah.
And I had to like fucking pop up on the side, which my fat crippled ass, and roll onto the fucking deck and try to get up on the slippery fucking slimy ass pool deck.
Yeah.
And we get into the pool, then fucking they fill up the hot tub, and then they're filling up the fucking pool too, and we're like, what the fuck are we doing?
Yeah, it was interesting. I was like, oh man,
it was fucking, and they just kept getting louder and fucking, and there was like one adult watching all 30 children.
I mean, kudos to her, man. She verbally manhandled all these kids. Like they were trying to be like, we're gonna go to the hot tub, and she's like, hey, look, If you're an adult, you can go in the hot tub. If you're not, stay ass in the pool. This one little kid kept trying to test her, and she's like, no, I said stay in the pool, but I don't care. Stay in the pool. It was funny. But man,
there was a couple in there.
Yeah.
It was like
it was like, go to your happy place. Go to your I can't. They're so loud.
Yeah, they're so fucking loud. I swear. It was like, I was like, are we being punked?
Like, is Ashton
Kutcher here? You son of a bitch.
Yeah. So needless to say, like, we, just eventually we were in the hot tub, and it had cleared out, and there was just one other lady in there. But the thing was, they were all so loud in the pool, which was like literally like they were jumping in the pool and splashing so hard that it was hitting me in the hot tub. I was
in my eye repeatedly.
I was like,
every time in my retina.
I was just like, I was laughing. I was
it burns.
Yeah. I was just like, wow. All right. So I'm kind of done. I was like, I looked over to you and I was like, when we left, I didn't see anybody in our hot tub at our hotel. I was like, you want to try and go back and see that? And so we decide to, and we get back, and our hot tub is empty. Like, nobody's there.
And twice as big as the other one.
Twice as big. So
huge. Massive.
Yeah, so we get in there and start relaxing, and it's awesome.
Yes. Yeah. God, yes.
You tap.
It was like a sauna in there, though.
I wish there was an actual sauna in there. Oh, man, that would have been great.
So we were in there for a while, and Victoria came and joined us, and then this dude who was a dealer came in and started chatting. Man, that dude was talking really fast.
Right. Yeah,
he's a nice guy, though.
Yeah, wasn't his name Mike?
I think so.
Yeah, I think it was Mike or something like that.
Because he had to make any energy drinks.
Yeah, we were just talking.
Can't hate on that, man. We've been there.
Yeah. But I mean, he was a really cool guy, but he was telling us a bunch of like crazy stuff that was going on about like stuff that had happened at the con, like behind the scenes and stuff. And man, there was kind of some shenanigans, like certain guests being a little kind of prima donna-ish, and then other ones, managers being like super dickbags and basically like, oh, I know the thing said, your autograph prices is this much, but I'm going to base your autograph price off of what you bring. Like, that was kind of.
Should we say who it was, or?
Nah, I don't want to, because this is like a word of mouth thing, so I really don't want to get into it. But basically, there was a celebrity whose manager, who we've seen with another celebrity there before.
Last year.
Yeah, it was last year. Was actually basically said that the website was wrong, that the autographs were not at the set price, and
they were worth
he was basing the price of the autograph off of what you were bringing. So if you bought a figure or like something, and it was like, it seemed like it was a collector's, like there was only so many of them, he actually would charge you more. I think at like one of the things that got brought up,
$400.
He tried to charge $400 for an autograph and stuff. Needless to say, the person he was doing this to has like an amazing reputation, and I felt like it was like, you're damaging this person's reputation by doing this stuff, because like people brought a bunch of stuff to get signed and basically got none of it signed because this guy was like minimum $70 per, like certain
just ridiculous. And like the listing had been like $40 or something like that, because they list all the autograph prices in advance.
And the problem was, like, this kind of started off some weird chain reaction where people had actually started like taking out Sharpies and marking out what their original like autograph price was and raising it, like because like originally the autograph I was supposed to get for Noah? I think Noah was like supposed to be like 20 or 30, and I think actually no, I think he might have actually dropped his, because I think it was supposed to be like 30 or something, ended up being 25. But like another celebrity, I heard Bill Goldberg actually didn't show up. He missed his photo op completely.
Yeah, people prepaid for it.
Yeah, so they all got refunded, and he apparently raised his prices. It was just, there was a lot of like.
And sadly, I did not get close enough to Bill Goldberg to harass him with my Jimmy King impersonation.
Yeah, hey, Big Bill, Goldberg.
Hey, Big Bill, Goldberg, baby. If we were to get close enough, I was going to accuse him of crushing my Butterfinger.
Yeah. Crush my Butterfinger, babe.
Of course, only you and I know what we're referencing, so...
You mad about that spot, Akron?
Still mad about that spot boo in Akron, aren't you?
Yeah. I just want to see Todd get the crap kicked out of by
Bill Goldberg circle stomp my ass.
I'll be like, throw me the camera. Okay. Taking pictures of it as it's happening. Like, yeah. Did you make coffee?
I am.
Coffee is grody.
That's that smell. All right. Yeah, Vic's making coffee in the background. I was like, damn.
Damn.
No, it's not. It's just like, it's a potent smell. Like, you can tell when somebody's making coffee. It's very strong.
Dave was making potent smells last night.
Yeah.
Where you asshole?
That's right. Dropping bombs like it was Baghdad.
Crop dusting the hotel room.
I wasn't even crop dusting. I was Dutch ovening that bed. I was just like, you're going to want to breathe out your mouth for like the next 5 minutes. It was bad. It was great.
Although I was guilty of that myself.
Yeah,
I blew up the freaking bathroom several times too.
But see, the thing, like, the reason why I don't want to like say the name of the celebrity is because we heard it from this guy who I don't know the reliability because like I've never met this guy before, so I don't want to like start accusing all these things of happening. The Goldberg thing I had heard about.
Big deal.
Yeah. So, I mean, you know, that he had missed his photo op and stuff and that his prices did get raised. So, but, you know, it's one of those things at cons, you're going to have some shenanigans no matter what. There's always, you know, somebody there that's going to cause a little drama, a little, you know, a little craziness, you know, for the people running it. But it happens.
Yeah, I thought Marina Sirtis was going to get into like a physical altercation with one of the Mandalorian mercs.
Oh yeah, okay. So like the Mandalorians were like were taking all their like big group photos and stuff like that, and they were done. They were all just kind of standing around, and Marina Sirtis and her people were trying to get past, but like the Mandalorians were basically just blocking the whole area. And she went up and she was basically like kind of like, hey, can you guys, you know, make way?
Said, excuse me.
Yeah, and stuff. And man, this one Mandalorian dude got like indignant and stuff like that. And basically, I think one of the other ones was like, you know, well, she's a celebrity, she needs to get through. And the one guy's like, I don't give a shit if she's a celebrity. I'm like, well, you might give a shit if security starts hucking your ass out like the thing. I'm like, you're just some unknown guy in a suit of armor.
Yeah.
She's a celebrity that's paid to be somewhere at a certain time.
Yeah.
Like, get the hell out of the way, dude. I don't care if you and all 19 of your Mandalorian buddies are standing there, you know. When it comes down to it, you guys are cool, but people pay to, like, see her and other people. They didn't necessarily, you know, like, don't be a dick. Just, she asked you nicely to move, and you kind of want to get an attitude. You got an attitude about it, like, Jesus. I was just like, whatever, that's funny. Somebody's always got to be like, well, I don't care if they're famous or not. And I've been like, well, you should care because they mean more in the greater sense of thing. Security's going to be like, famous person we don't know. Fuck you out.
As Vern Troyer continued his tradition of being at a con and scaring the shit out of me by coming out of nowhere on his baby mobile.
Yeah. I love the fact that, like...
Oh, man, I did.
We were standing by the... to get on the elevator, and then all of a sudden, Deep Roy,
he is literally the size of my child.
Yeah. Actually, I think your child's bigger.
I think she may be.
But it was like, he was just...
But he's a little old fellow, though. Yeah, he's like a little, like, 50-something-year-old man who's the size of an 8-year-old.
Yeah. No. Just
he seemed very cool, though.
Oh, yeah, it was just really cool, and nobody was harassing him.
That was at the same time that my favorite costume of the day was standing in front of it. There was a fellow who was dressed as the, like, black suited ninja-style Daredevil.
That's, in the news.
He was wearing a black rubber suit that was...
He was wearing a black rubber bondage suit, like one of those, like, you know, Subboy suits, the one that has, like, the zippers so you can stay in the suit, but, like, completely pull out your crotch.
Yes, there was a genital releasing zipper.
Yeah.
Going right up his taint.
Yeah. He had to readjust his costume, like standing there in front of the elevator and like bent over in front. And we're just like, there's a zipper right there. Oh, wow.
Pretty convenient when you go to the bathroom, I suppose. But...
Oh, yeah, great. But we were talking about that. We're like, oh, my God, the amount of sweat, though.
I can't even imagine because it was kind of hot in there.
Yeah. Oh, God, it was really bad.
It was belligerent.
But, yeah, it was like his suit was the all-rubber, like, slave boy suit. And I was just like, that's inventive, but man, that's crazy.
There were certainly some interesting
cosplay.
There were some very brave folk, some courageous folks.
Yes.
Victoria is the voice of like positivity among us. Dave and I are like, Jesus Christ, look at that lady here, look at that guy. She's like, they're so brave for wearing that.
I mean, the thing is, like, even if they were stuff like that, their costumes were actually really good.
Some of them were. Yeah. Some of them were hilariously awful, like the no-budget X-Men that we saw. They were made of duct tape and a promise.
I think that was only the...
No, it was Cyclops, Colossus, like they all were duct taped up except for the chicks.
Yeah.
But you know what, though?
The chicks had decent costumes.
Yeah.
There was a guy in a really, really cool Ninja Turtles costume.
Painted. That was actually not a guy, that was a girl.
Was it?
Yeah, it was a woman as...
The best moment is that it was a very like a full suit with a big foam head type thing, and the person in the suit was trying to tell their person that was with him something, and they couldn't hear him, and so the lady that was with him just like grabbed hold of the mouth and popped it over and was like, "What now?" And stuck her ear in there.
What do you need? What do you need, Donnie?
Oh shit, laughing.
Yeah, that was. I mean, dude, that turtle could not get more than like 2 feet before somebody was like, "Pictures."
Yeah, they were all about it. Yeah. Okay, and I'm a fat guy, so and I would never do this. There was 2 large Starfleet officers in there. And there was one lady dressed as a Vulcan, and man, her skirt.
I honestly with that. I think the only problem with that was just the fact that her skirt
the length of the skirt.
I mean, you could the skirt. Other than that, I mean, they looked
see
fine.
it all, man.
Yeah. Other than that, the cosplay looked fine.
No, it was a good costume. Yeah.
It was just one of those like, oh wow, man, that's not going down as far as it probably should.
So courageous.
Yeah.
There were some really good costumes, though.
Yeah. There's a lot of awesome, like, cosplay.
There's a great-looking Doctor Doom that was very cool. We saw on the way out.
They had, like, a whole Avengers troupe, and that looked really good. Mm-hmm. I think one of the coolest ones, though, was the, like, demon xenomorph costume.
Man, I hope that guy's here again. Because I'd love to get some pictures of that. Because I didn't really get any pictures of it. Plus, when we saw him, he had the helmet off and stuff.
Yeah.
But it was basically like a Giger alien, like a xenomorph-style alien, and it had like these big bull horns on it and like these huge expandable wings, and he had like these cloven hoof. It was kind of like if like Legend, like Darkness from Legend and a xenomorph had a baby.
Yeah.
Like, it looked
really cool.
It was badass.
Yeah. But, yeah, there was some really good cosplay. There was, I think one of the funnier things was, like, up on the 3rd floor, there's a girl who did a really good job of, there was a couple Elsas from Frozen and stuff, and she was walking with, like, the rest of them. And, man, I felt so bad because, like, these kids, like, walked by and they were just, like, literally, like, the distance from me and they were just, like, screaming at her, "Let it go, Elsa!" Like, when they walked by, I was just like, that's got to be the most annoying thing ever. She's like, yeah.
She's like, let it go fuck yourself.
Well, because she was, like, basically, like, they don't just, like, stand there and they're like, oh, let it go. She's like, people will come up and just, like, scream that in her face, like, the song. And I'm like, there was a movie. It's the rest of that thing.
One of my favorite ones that we saw was a little mop-top kid getting his picture taken that was Carl from Walking Dead.
Oh, yeah.
And he had the perfect, like, Carl hairdo and everything. He had, like, the, police hat on and stuff. And he had a big can of pudding. And it was awesome. He was great. He did a great job. He looked quite hilarious.
Yeah, he was selling it.
There was belligerent amounts of obnoxious Deadpools that were flirting with their own mortality by pissing me the fuck off at every turn.
I mean, that's not really hard, though. A kid shows up dressed as Deadpool and you already want to kill him, so I mean...
Like, you don't.
Honestly, like,
fucking Deadpool.
If they're being annoying, I do, but, like, if they
just what have you met one that hasn't been, though? Like, damn near every Deadpool we've ever met has been an obnoxious penis.
The only Deadpool that was obnoxious to me that yesterday was the one that was dressed as Sailor Moon. Other than that, the rest of them...
That was extremely obnoxious.
The rest of them don't... They didn't bother me. They weren't D-bags.
I don't know, man. Those ones at Gem City last year that were... They weren't bothering us, but they were being obnoxious.
That guy always got the crap kicked out of him, so, I mean, he obviously
I'm so sad that didn't happen.
Yeah. But, yeah, like, again, I go back to Deadpool and There were Jokers, but like they weren't being weird.
Actually, there weren't many Jokers from what I saw.
There was like a lot of Harley Quinns.
Not many. I didn't see any Loki. Did you see any Lokis this time? Because I didn't see any Lokis. It seems like the last 3 or 4 conventions we've gone to, it's been like Loki Palooza.
Yeah, I didn't see too many of those. It kind of goes based off like what kind of casting and things come out and stuff. So like, Avengers is the Ultron thing's getting, and Suicide Squad. So and then Deadpool.
I didn't see all that many Harley Quinns. I mean, I saw like some. But
I saw a bunch of Harley Quinns.
I saw a lot of brave ones.
I saw no less than like 15 Harley Quinns. So, I mean, it was pretty Harley Quinn packed in there. I
tell you, like yesterday was the day of me getting the shit scared out of me because we were going past this one booth. And this guy came barreling out, and he was a special fella, and he looked like George the Animal Steel.
Yeah.
He was enormous, and he came barreling out, like, right at me, and I was like, shit!
I was like, I'm going to have to take the hit. I can't, there's nothing I can do. Just tuck and take the hit, man. Like,
thankfully, he went the other direction, but
it was like last second, like when a train track, switches over, and you're like,
God bless him, he scared the shit out of me.
I don't want to die. Yeah, too late.
He looked like he was going to kill me.
Yeah.
Or hug me.
Yeah.
Hugs.
Yeah, it was pretty funny. That I just love to randomly like leave and then come back and be like, hey buddy, and you're like,
he likes to do the thing where we'll be going in one direction and then all of a sudden he'll pull me in reverse, and it always freaks me out.
Yeah. Like,
what the hell are we doing?
And you're just like,
what are we doing?
Yeah. I'm like, calm down. Jesus. Like, I'm the one directing the wheelchair. Calm down.
Yeah. The only thing I will say that I would like to see more of is, like, it seemed like I don't know because we couldn't get down all of it, but it didn't seem like there was a lot of actual, like, indie comic creators there. Like, there was a few that I could see, but it seemed like the artist alley was a little lacking this time. But, I mean, we'll see for sure today.
Yeah.
But it did seem like the focus was not as much on comics as it probably should be. Like, even as far as booths with comics, I didn't see as many, it wasn't as bad as some of the cons we've been to.
Well, I mean, it is kind of like it's a tough thing because that doesn't really necessarily make all that much money.
I know. It's the dichotomy of it. It's like there are the shows like Gym City that are very creator focused.
Yeah. And
I can't wait to do that. And, that's the kind of con where you go to buy comics.
Yeah.
And this one is like, this is the one where you go to Stargaze and like, buy cool toys and swag and shit of that nature.
Yeah.
Swaggles.
Swag.
But I did actually get some comics,
Yeah.
But I plan on getting a lot more today, hopefully.
Yeah. I got like 1 or 2 graphic books, but like the stuff I'm looking for, it's like harder to find. So I'm like, meh.
Yeah, I find like since we've been doing this show and we've been in contact with a lot of independent creators, that I find like my tastes are starting to go that way more than than mainstream stuff. I feel like I'm starting to look more towards independent, like more creative and original sort of ideas.
Yeah, I'm not. I'm not.
Yeah, like, you are very much a mainstream guy.
Well, I mean, I hate to be a dick about it. If there's cool stuff, there's cool stuff. But most of the time, I would say about 90% of the indie comic stuff, I have no taste for it because it's like, you need to polish this up.
Well, it just depends on what it is. It's like,
or their ideas are like, I've heard this idea before. Like, it's just a lot of stuff. So I was like,
You also like superhero books a lot generally, and most of the indie stuff is more different kind of subject matter.
I wouldn't say a lot. A lot of the stuff I'm looking for now is not superhero-y stuff. So I'm just very particular about what I'm looking for as far as like a certain story and a certain artwork. And if it's not either of those, then I'm kind of like, I'm less apt to like, want to look at it. And that's the thing, like, is usually for me, it's either when they pitch the story, I'm like, I'm not digging it, or most of the time the artwork's just not, for me where I would want it to be at. So I'm like, I'm cool. I was like,
I'm good. Like, okay, if they can give me a pitch that sounds like an interesting story and the artwork is not quite there, I'm still willing.
Yeah.
Sometimes it just depends on how interesting the story sounds, and then vice versa. If the artwork is really good but the story is not necessarily something that I'm looking for, I might still be interested. But it just depends.
Yeah, I'm like, I weekly buy so many comics that I'm like, nope. I'm a little less forgiving.
That's true.
On
You
that.
buy more new comics than me
Yeah.
too. Like I generally go towards buying back issues at a very reduced price.
Yeah.
Because I consume so many comics.
Yeah, I'll do that, but like I'll also, weekly go through, a lot. So I'm just a little bit more particular about the stories because it's like a lot of what I hear from like some of these indie guys is like, man, I'm like, I feel like that's a reused story setup. So I'm like, I'm cool. I'm like, I'm pretty sure I've read this before and the artwork was better. So, I mean, that's just me though. I try to like give it a chance at least and look at it, but if it's not something, then I'm not too worried.
Yeah, I'm
about
a firm believer in like supporting independent creators because a lot of our friends are independent creators. But then also, it's like I'm not going to support them just for the sake of supporting. It does need to still be quality work.
Yeah.
And something that is my taste.
Yeah.
Like I'll give you, we were happy to give support to anyone, but like as far as my own reading taste, or if we're reviewing something, like there's been plenty of comics that we've come across that were independent books and we've looked at and we've chose not to review necessarily because they aren't necessarily the review would not be positive and we don't want to give people negative press necessarily.
Yeah. Like, no.
Now if it were colossally bad, then yeah, we probably would.
Like, oh my god, they're so bad.
But thankfully that hasn't happened yet.
Yeah.
Only movies.
Yeah. But that's the thing. I think that's the difference with like movies and comics. You can have a really bad movie and it'll still be like
some level of
entertaining and popular because it's like it's so bad it's awesome. Comics, I feel like it can't be so bad it's awesome necessarily because it's like,
I have read a few, like the Captain Confederacy comics that I found in the quarter bin.
That's because there's like a certain niche to it, but like if it's just bad all the way through, it's like you're less apt to be like, because like watching something and reading something, there's a different investment level in it,
That's true. That's true. There is.
So it's like you can kind of half-ass watch a bad movie and be like, that was funny, it was bad and awesome and stuff. Comic though, you're like, I'm invested in reading this thing, and if it doesn't, oh man, it's bad, you're kind of like, I'm pissed off, I wasted my time focusing in on this. So.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, it's bullshit. It's fucking bullshit.
But I'm excited about today. We should have a fun walkthrough, I'm sure.
Yeah. And it's not raining. Oh, thank God
it's not raining. Yeah, like finally the sun's out after 2 days of rain.
Yeah.
So, excuse me. What are you looking forward to today as far as looking for? Are you going to be looking for anything specific, or are you just going more like towards the general?
Yeah, just looking. Yeah. Everything that I've seen that's on my list is not a price I'm willing to pay, so I'm like, whatever.
That does continually keep happening to me too.
Yeah, so I'm like, I'm okay. I mean, hopefully, I'll be able to go in and find some things that I was like, I didn't get to see yesterday and be like, oh, I like that, I'll get that. But as far as it goes, I'm kind of like, meh,
You got a few cool things yesterday.
Yeah, I got a awesome. There was a guy selling swords, both wooden, real, and like foam, and he had for like $20. He had one of the foam like master swords from Zelda, and I was like, "This is awesome! I like it." And for $20, it was really good. So I bought it, and it was cool. And actually, when we were walking around with it, we got asked like a shit ton of times, like, "Hey man, where'd you get that sword?" And I had to like give directions to this guy's booth. By the end of the day, when we went back, because I had realized that he had bought he had a Godzilla figure that I had wanted. We went back, he had sold pretty much like damn near most of all those like foam swords that he had, foam and wood swords. So he was like kind of bare, and I ended up picking up the big 12-inch like movie sounds Godzilla, the NECA Godzilla.
Sure that thing's taller than 12 inches.
No, it's it's 12 inches tall, 24 inches long.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's massive.
It is quite massive.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, it's so beautiful. I love it.
The tail articulation alone is insane.
Yeah, it'll go great with all my Pacific Rim kaijus.
We'll be nomming on their heads.
Oh, it'll be kicking all
whipping up
their
in their
asses.
mouths and spewing hatred down.
Their face and shit, whooping all their asses. They'll be like, oh, there's 9 of us. He's like, I don't care, Godzilla, suck it. And I'll be whooping you.
Godzilla, I'm gonna spew some hatred directly down your fucking throat.
Pretty much. So, I got those. Like I said, a few comics, like some cheapy graphic novels.
Yeah, there was a guy who had like huge amounts of cheap graphic novels. A couple of them actually.
I almost blew $100 on the Legacy Saba sword, but ended up passing on that. To, opt to try and get more things instead of just one expensive thing.
Right.
So we'll see how that works out for me today.
I think I ended up with like 3 graphic novels and 3 comics and a couple of figures.
Yeah.
Basically.
So, wasn't bad. It was pretty good. Like I said, this is the day usually, though, where we kind of, it's less about Starstruck and autographs and more about, like, all right, let's get in there and look for the comics and the toys and, get out.
Get the pictures and all that stuff.
Yeah, get the pictures. Like, trying to get a picture of Bill Goldberg yesterday was
Big deal.
A little rough because there were so many people and he was like surrounded by staff guys, and I was like, man, if I try to take this picture, there's a good chance I'm going to be like, sir, we need your camera, or like
you're gonna have to kill me.
Yeah, you're not supposed to do that. I need you to delete that.
I need you to kiss my ass.
They can do it though.
They pulled that crap at Wizard World on us.
Yeah, they can.
I'm trying to take pictures of people. What's to say that I'm taking a picture of them? I'm taking a picture of something behind him. He just happens to be there.
Yeah, well, I mean, they can. It's kind of like taking pictures at concerts. They can come and confiscate things if they want.
Confiscate these nuts. It's not happening. We will see.
I guarantee they'll win. There's more of them than you.
No. Bows.
Oh God, yeah, the Bosk. Oh, the Bosk thing was hilarious.
Bosk.
Okay, so while the Mandalorians were all taking their pictures, like they were taking up a big area with their pictures. It was fine. I mean, it was no big deal. But there was like somebody dressed up as a Bosk, and as they're taking the pictures, he's just like, I don't even care, and just slow struts like right in front of all of them, and all the Mandalorians are like, and he's just like. Doesn't even care.
Bosk, motherfucker.
He's like, I'm the Bosk. Just slow. And they're all like, oh, it's on, Bosk. And he's just like, I'm the Bosk. It was hilarious.
Bosk.
I was like, he's the Bosk, man. Yeah.
Who's the Bosk?
He's the Bosk. I was like, what are you going to do? Nothing. He's a giant lizard dude.
But that's going to wrap it up. We got to finish packing up our room and get everything out and heading out for day 2, and we'll take as many pictures as we can. Take some, try to see if we can.
Yeah, it was way too
chloroform
loud.
Ivy Duke Kitty.
Oh.
She's supposed to be wearing her Velma costume today, and I think Dave and I might have heart attacks if we get too close. Or Dave might be tackled by security as he ditches his pants and goes flying at her with a giant erection.
Well, the thing that was cool was like she had made a costume in 2 days. Yesterday she debuted a brand new cosplay costume, and it was M. Bison from Street Fighter.
Yeah, that's pretty bad.
That's not an easy costume because that's a full suit. Like it's not it wasn't anything, and it wasn't like a slinkier version. It was like a full scale head to toe like suit with the cape and the helmet and the hat and everything. And man, she did a really good job for having it done in 2 days. It was like pretty awesome. So I think and then Friday she did the Star Trek outfit.
Yeah, I'm sad I missed that.
Yeah, and today she's all Velma and Jinkies,
which is one of my favorite costumes.
Yeah, I was like,
super pumped.
God, I love it. So yeah, we're excited for that. And then the Bulk and Skull panel.
Yeah, is that today?
Yeah, that's today. That's pretty much going to be like the top off for the day. Because we love watching their panel's hilarious. Those guys.
Yeah, and then Ivy's doing a panel too, isn't she?
Yeah, she's doing one earlier.
A cosplay panel.
Yep. And that one will be awesome as well.
Did you drool over her for?
Yep, pretty much. Proceed to just be like, oh, don't kitty.
Doom. We're gonna go ahead and wrap it up from the
Wrap it up, B.
from the Rape Alley adjacent Howard Johnson's in beautiful Lexington, Kentucky. I'm Todd.
I'm Dave.
And until next time, the motel room door is closed.
Because the card reader's broke.
This is fucking broken.
Damn card reader!
Counties.